Hi students, welcome back. In the previous video, I explained about the abstract class. I had taken one example also. I said that abstract class is nothing but it contains some pure virtual function. A pure virtual function which has no definition. So this is also called as a do nothing function. So let us take one example to explain about this abstract class. Let us consider a class named database of bank. Database of a bank. So bank is one of the regular example for this. If you're taking any database, if you are dealing with a database, bank is one of the most important example for explaining about the database topic. So let us consider a class named with database of a bank. Okay, so suppose this is a class database. The main concept here you have to understand is where I'm using this abstract class, and then why I'm using this abstract class. That can be cleared in this example. The class database. So in this class database, I create one virtual function, that is virtual void. Virtual function with starting should be virtual keyword, virtual void. So get name is a function name that should be equal to 0. So then only you will call it as a pure virtual. If it is equal to 0, then you call it as a pure virtual function. So here the database has become the abstract class. So this class database becomes abstract class. Do you understand why it becomes the abstract class? Because it contains a pure virtual function. If pure virtual function is there, then it is the abstract class. So this is the base class. So this is a common function which is useful for every other classes, every derived. So this is a base class. Now I am writing the derived classes. So this is one, and this is one derived class, and this is another derived class. So if you take the bank as an example, what will be the common derived classes? A class manager will be there. So manager is having some functions, and some class accountant is there. Accountant having some functions, and class customer will be there. So customer is having some services. So manager is having some services, accountant will having some services, and customer is having services. So for all these people, the common thing is, what is the common thing? So that I declared as an abstract class. What is that? Get name. So the class manager has to deal with a particular get name. At the same time, the accountant is also deals with the get name. The customer is also get name. So here a customer is name, that name, whatever his name, so that will be dealing by the manager, and at the same time the class account. Means frequently we are using this function get name. So first that will be declared in the base class, and I am using that function with no definition. Remember, in the base class you don't have definition. I declared this function pure. I make it as a pure virtual function so that it cannot be hacked. Okay, I make it as a pure virtual function, and I'm using in all my derived classes. And here I am writing the definition according to their wish. Means here the manager, by using that name, he can update his account. The accountant means he can overwrite his name, or accountant can update his amount, or the customer can check his values. Means check his amount, whatever present in his account. Okay. So here everyone is using the same function. Void get name, but with definition. Here you don't have definition. So according to the manager, he can write his own definition. And at the same time, the void get name. The accountant will write his own definition in this function. Void get name. Here he will write his own definition. Okay. So I think you understand what is an abstract class. An abstract class will be declared as a base class. So in the abstract class, you don't have any objects. Only the functions will be there. That function will be the pure virtual function. Okay, when I'm say, because this function will be repeatedly used in different derived classes. Okay, in that particular derived classes, this function will having their own definitions according to their derived classes. Okay, now we want to keep all common functions in a class database with pure virtual functions. Then why we made get name pure virtual? Because everyone has the name. That's why we have kept it as a pure virtual. Everyone has their name. So we wanted all derived classes. These are the derived classes. These are the derived classes. Okay, so all these derived classes, we want all derived classes to define this function in their class to get their names. So we will use manager class to store the manager data. At the same time, we will use accountant class to store account data, and the customer class will use to store the customer data. Okay, is it clear to you? So now let us see the program for this example. How we'll write the program for this example for creating the abstract class. Example: hash include IO stream using namespace std. Now first declare the base class, that is the database class database with virtual function public virtual void. So the function name is get name. That should be equal to 0. Then only it will be, whenever it is 0, then you can say it is a pure virtual function. Now write the derived classes. The first derived class is the manager. Manager will take the help of the base class, that is the public database. So this is the derived class and this is the base class. Public. Now here he is implementing the definition void get name. What he is writing, he is printing cout. This is manager class. Okay, so this one derived class is over. So that's why I closed it. Now I am calling another derived class, class accountant. Public, and the base class is database. Public. Now calling the function void get name. Writing the definition here, his own definition, that is he is printing the value like cout. This is accountant class. Close the class. Now take the customer class. Customer is the derived class and public database is the base class. Public. Now writing the definition of the customer in the get name function. Get name. So what he is printing cout. This is customer class. So now I written the base class, derived class, derived class and derived class. Now write the main function. So what will be the main function? Int main. First what it calls manager. For this manager class, it creating an object. So to access the element functions, to access or to print the values, so the class doesn't it is a logical memory. It means the class doesn't occupy the space in the memory. Whenever you create the object, then only these values will be, the message will be stored in the memory. So first create the object to that particular class, manager M. Now some memory is allocated for this manager class. At the same time, accountant A is an object. Now the accountant, for the class accountant, object is created. Some memory space will be allocated. At the same time, customer. So for these three classes, objects will be created. Now with the help of the objects, you just call those functions. m.getName. So whenever I call m.getName, so this function will be called and it prints, this is a manager class. m.getName, a.getName, and then c.getName. So it prints, this is a manager, this is accountant class, and this is the customer class. Just return 0. Close the main. Is it clear? So here you have to be noted that we cannot create object of an abstract class. So here in abstract class, we are not creating an object. Did you observe here? We didn't create an object for this abstract class database. Only we are using in the derived classes. Here I declared one function, that is the getName function, that will be used in the derived classes. So these derived classes will be given and will be called with the help of the objects. Okay, so first it will store here, and with the help of the objects we are calling the every function. So this is about the abstract class. I hope you understand. Thank you.